guest tonight is not just a housewife and not just a mother of 7 children. Her passion is to free women from the hypnotic delusion of the feminist movement. Obviously, we're now a long way from the stereotypical images of being barefoot and pregnant in the kitchen, but has the pendulum swung too far? Are women now turning against feminism? Many women are beginning to question its relevance. My guest believes that one of the most catastrophic results of this movement has been the emasculation of men. She would even go as far as saying that women are taking men's balls as their own to further their need to feel significant. Tonight we welcome Holly Brownless from Women From Within to Point TV. Welcome, Holly.
Thank you.
I'd love to know, how do you become a woman from within?
Okay, so I believe that as females, that fundamentally we are already women from within. But I do believe that some of us need to take the opportunity to listen to that voice that's inside of us. And I'm not talking about the voice that belongs to our parents or our husband or our children or even society. I'm talking about that voice that is really ours. You see, as women, we are brilliant at being able to juggle so many different things. There are many roles that we play. And with each of those roles that we play, that we wear a different mask. Unfortunately, though, sometimes we forget to take the mask off. And I believe that that's where the feminist movement has its delusion over us.
It really does have that effect on us. That's what's been happening, hasn't it?
Yep, it really does. Yes.
So, what are some of the problems that you see with feminist women?
Okay, so quite a few clients that I have come to me are really in their feminine power, in their masculine power. Sorry. They tend to be juggling many different things at once, and they are wearing many different masks, and they're coming to me looking for things to implement and strategies to use to continue them down that path, so they can wear even more masks and work in even more roles. But as we spend time together, they start to see that really those masks that they are wearing is not who they are. And they start to realise that part of society's conditioning has been to help us to has been there to really help us to
The delusion of them.
Absolutely, yeah. You know, we're comparing ourselves against everybody and trying to prove how great that we are.
Yeah.
And, you know, part of that is comparing ourselves against men. And when we do that, we realise, we forget that we're not men, that we are different.
And men can do so many more things than women.
Absolutely.
I mean, the other way around.
Different, different things. We are different, absolutely. You know, when you get to really understand men, you will know that they are able to take 1 or 2 goals max, but they really nail those suckers. You know, they do it with purpose and clarity. Yet for women, we're able to juggle 6 to 12 different things at once. It just takes us longer. But unfortunately, we really allow ourselves to come under that illusion that we're not doing all that we can because it's taking us longer. You know, we're really comparing ourselves against men. And, you know, that just doesn't fit at all.
Was there a turning point in your life, Holly, when you started to come into this passion for empowering women?
Absolutely. If you'd have been with me like 2.5 years ago, we were in the car, my husband was driving, and we were on the M1, and you know, sometimes those huge juggernaut trucks come hurtling past you. Well, there was one that came past us on the inside lane, and at that moment I just had this overwhelming urge to open up the car door and just to throw my body underneath those tyres, because I had come to a point that I didn't know who I was anymore. So for 10 years of our marriage with my husband, he had suffered with severe depression, and I had to wear so many different masks. I had the mask of the mother and the father. I had the mask of being the wife, the supporter, the lover, the therapist, you know, all of these different things. Finances were upon my head, everything. And thankfully, my husband regained his masculinity, and we made a decision together to move interstate so that he could follow his purpose and his dream. And, you know, it was the best thing that we did for our family. My husband was happy, my children were happy. But for myself, I didn't know who I was before. Like, I didn't have to wear those masks anymore. I was somebody that I didn't even know who I was. And so in that moment of wanting to end it all, thankfully I also had the image of my youngest son come to mind. And right then I knew that there was more for me to do, that I had a purpose, and it was to share this with other women and to help them to become true feminist, beautiful goddesses unto themselves.
Beautiful. Thank you so much for being so open with that story. And I know that you work with so many women. What's exciting about seeing a woman embrace her femininity?
You know, when you really see a woman who embraces that feminine energy within herself, she is what you would call a showstopper. I'm sure you've all been in an experience where a woman has walked into the room and she has everybody's attention. And that's because at some level that she's allowed herself, she's allowed herself to really get in touch with who she is. She's allowed herself to love herself. She is open. She is free-flowing, and she shows love to all. And in that, she's been able to gain a real deeper connection with herself and with all of nature and the earth. You know, when you really look at the feminine power within us, we can compare it to the ocean. And the fact is that the ocean on some days can be beautiful and calm and serene. And yet within a few hours, it can be this raging tempest that can destroy anybody that's upon it. And that's really what the feminine power and energy is like. And we really need to be able to take the opportunity to embrace that. That's who we are.
Yeah.
That's who we are. And the moment that we do that, that is when we have real power. We do not need men's balls. We have our own.
Well, thank you so much, Holly, for your wisdom and for your insights tonight. And I hope everyone goes home and embraces this message and starts really nurturing themselves and taking care of you. So please start tonight. Thank you for joining us at Point TV.